Alright, so this chapter was trash. It was complete garbage. My Academia is one of the worst mangas I've ever read in my entire life. Now, alright, let's be serious. This chapter was okay. It was about mid. Because alright, so not much is happening in this chapter. We just get to see basically the fallout of what happened during the war arc, which is still going on and has been going on for the past few chapters. Now, I haven't really made any videos on My Academia in a very long time. I think about 3 months or so. I have to go check. Maybe I'll put up a snippet or something on the screen so you guys can see, because I don't really remember for sure. But yeah, I haven't really done a video on My Academia in a very long time. I have been reading the manga though, but yeah, I fell behind about 5 chapters, so I kind of cleared that up last week. And I was looking forward to this because I got up this morning. I was like, okay, what am I gonna do, because it's my day off, so I don't have to go to work today and there's not much for me to do. So I was like, okay, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna make a video, of course. But I was gonna make a video on Boruto because that's what I've been doing for the past few weeks. And I said, you know what, I'm gonna get back into My Academia. I'm gonna make a video on this chapter. So I was really excited to see what's gonna happen in this chapter. I heard someone say something last week about this is going to be the chapter where All Might dies and all that lovely stuff, and I'm like, what? That escalated really quickly. So I just wanted to see what's happening. But the chapter was okay. I mean, it isn't anything exciting. We don't really get to see any fight scenes. Maybe something's gonna happen in the next chapter based off what we saw in the last panel, where this sniper girl basically sniped off Deku's GPS tracker, which is pretty cool, I suppose. But I don't think these guys will be much match for Deku with one for all. He doesn't even need to use the additional quirks. I mean, the base one for all quirk should be enough for these guys, right? But funnily enough, I think I'm skipping ahead too much, but I just want to say that there's a guy in the last panel. I'm actually looking through the panel right now as I'm making the review. So there's a guy leaning up behind her, and it looks like he's missing 2 arms. At first when I saw that he was missing 1 arm, I was like, okay, this guy looks like Overhaul, right? This guy looks like Shisaki. Because if you guys remember, I think what's his name again, Shigaraki removed one of his arms with his decay quirk, so that he couldn't use his powers and so on. So I thought that was Shisaki, but I'm seeing that he's missing 2 arms, so I'm not sure. Maybe Shigaraki did remove both his arms, but I doubt that was the case. I'm not really sure, so it could be Shisaki. I'm not entirely sure, don't quote me on that, okay? There was one other fight scene here with Endeavor and some lower level criminals, and I don't think the fight was really interesting. It's what happened afterwards. Now, we used this ignited arrow fire thingy that was really cool. I mean, Endeavor is cool overall, right? He's like one of the coolest heroes in the show, based on his appearance and his abilities, okay? Not really his personality. I guess it's kind of cool if you like those kind of characters. I typically do, because he kind of reminds me of Zuko, and I think Zuko is one of the best characters in history. That's supposed to be a popular opinion, not an unpopular opinion. So I don't think I really need to explain myself with that. But what I want to talk about is what happened afterwards, after he defeated the villains. Now, this is a point of contention for me, right? I understand everything that happened, and I understand that what was broadcasted to the world as it relates to Endeavor's relation to Dobby and what happened in the war arc and all of that stuff, right? But I don't know, I don't think the civilians were justified in their criticisms towards Endeavor. I don't know, maybe they were talking about the heroes in general. I don't really know for sure, but I don't know. I think that based on what was shown in the panel itself, it seems like it was directed towards Endeavor personally, and I'm not entirely sure I want to get behind that, because to blame the entire war or the fallout of the war and what happened afterwards on Endeavor, it's kind of ludicrous, right? Yes, we understand that Dobby is related to him, and you could say that Dobby is participating in this war only because of what Endeavor did, right? You could say that, but to blame the entire war effort, I mean, the war could have happened without Dobby. I mean, everything could have played out exactly how it did without Dobby. So when you remove Dobby from the equation, who are you going to blame? Are you still going to blame Endeavor? It's kind of crazy to blame everything on this man. Maybe they're, as I said, maybe they're talking about the heroes in general, because we had other heroes there like Hawks and this other dude. So it, I don't want to say that for certain that's what they were doing, but no, based on how the manga, the panels focused on Endeavor, I kind of got that idea, right? They're calling him a coward, get away from us, you bring nothing but despair. It's kind of crazy. Like, understand, even if we want to put Darby's situation in the picture, right? We're going to talk about Darby and, what Darby did in the name of Endeavor and all of that stuff. Fine, right? But we also have to understand personal responsibility, right? Even if Endeavor did all that lovely stuff, right? Even if that happened and the world is not aware of it, it still comes down to personal responsibility. Endeavor is not fully responsible for how Dobby turned out or what Dobby decided to do with his life. You can't blame everything on this man. It's just ludicrous to think that this guy is solely responsible for everything Dobby does now. That's just crazy, bro. I don't know, man. They're trying to, and I just feel, reading the chapter, I just don't feel the sincerity with their outrage. I can understand outrage, and I like seeing it when it's justified and when I can relate and understand, but I just feel like it's just not sincere. It feels manufactured, if you understand what I'm saying. It is manufactured. I mean, this is not real, it's a manga, but it's supposed to feel real, like in the story setting itself, right? But I just don't feel like they're outraged, because if you look at this dude, has been a hero for years, saved countless lives, right? Like, this dude, you can't reduce his entire career to one thing that happened a few weeks ago. That's just ludicrous and crazy. But if that's what they're doing, fine. I'm not writing this shit. I'm not a writer. I'm just a reviewer and a part of the audience itself. So I'm just giving my opinion on why I think that. Yes, I understand why they would be angry based on what Endeavor did to Dobby, but you can't blame Endeavor solely for what Dobby did or how this war turned out, because everything could have happened even without Dobby being involved. So saying this guy brings nothing but despair when he's actually out there saving lives, it's kind of ludicrous and hard for me to believe, and it just feels fake and manufactured. And after that, we also had a conversation with Best Genius, Hawks, and Endeavor, and they're talking about the whole Deku situation. It is kind of funny because, all these years, watching the anime and reading the manga, we always wanted to know what would happen and what would be the reaction of, everyone once they know that Deku has All Might's power. And, what's really surprising to me, really, coming to think about it, it's just Endeavor's reaction in general, because if you go back maybe a few seasons or a few chapters, let's go back to season 2 Endeavor, right? If this dude found out that Deku had One for All and All Might gave it to him without the sequence of events that happened leading up to who he is now, this redemption arc that he basically went through, if we remove that from the equation and we only had him reveal, had Deku reveal that he had One for All and, All Might gave him his power, I think this dude's reaction would be completely different, right? Now he's kind of calm, cool, collected, and in a more helpful, tone or manner. And I think it's good. I mean, character development is always great, and I always love to see it. And hopefully, we don't have a regression, if that's the word. I'm not really sure. But that's good also, only when it's done properly. I don't know, I think that I'm always going back to one thing when I do these reviews, and even in my Boruto review I talked about the character regression of Jaime Lannister in Game of Thrones. Like, what they did to that man's character in season 8 was atrocious, man. This dude took a 360-degree turn on his character. Would it be 360 or 180? I think it's 180, right? Because 360 would be full circle. So this dude just took a complete turn, right? From his entire redemption arc for 7 seasons straight, and in one season, poof, nothingness. This dude just reverted back to his old self, ignoring all plot, everything that they built up for this character, to going back to Cersei and claiming that he doesn't care about everybody else when he's only the Kingslayer because he cared for everybody, which is why he killed the king. It's crazy, but I think I'm getting sidetracked here. This is not about Game of Thrones. This is a channel about anime. I'm just gonna stick to it. Now, as I'm saying is that I think that they could go a regression route where he goes back to the way he is, but it has to make sense, right? I don't think they need to. I think this character is honestly played out by now. I don't really think we need to see anything else. I think I only want to see him fight Dobby actually realistically right now. Apart from remove the shock and the stress and depression that we saw in the first fight, let us see him go all out against Dobby. And I want to see, what's his name again? Todoroki. Look at that. I'm also forgetting this dude's name because this dude is so forgettable right now because they've butchered this man's character and his abilities. Like, Todoroki is supposed to be one of the most OP characters in the entire series, and he's so weak in the last manga's chapter. So I think it's just crazy how they're butchering this man's character. But this man's character, incorrect word, but it's correct for the context of which I'm speaking. But yeah, as I'm saying, this chapter was pretty good, and I like seeing them talking about Deku in a way where they're more calm and collected, and they understand the situation, and no one is really at fault or anyone is blaming anyone. They're all working together as a cohesive unit to get One for All safe and to take care of All for One. And we also know why the Shigaraki hasn't attacked us yet, because I was wondering about that as well. I mean, based on what happened in the war arc and what happened in the chapters afterwards, I thought that Shigaraki is going to take this opportunity to seize the entire city, and the heroes would have to go underground. We won't have any heroes in society and all that lovely stuff and yada yada yada, but none of that has happened. No, Shigaraki is still underground. We got an explanation in this chapter saying that he's underground because All for One is still trying to take over his body, and it's taking some time, and he needs something else. We don't know exactly what he needs, and they kind of give a vague explanation about this, saying that because One for All carries the spirit of 8 people, All for One is trying to get the strength of 8 people or more, or the hatred or whatever based on what I understood, to be able to rip One for All from Deku, because he needs the force and the will that surpasses the will and the force of the 8 quirks or 8 vestiges within One for All, based on what I understood. So I guess that's a good example explanation, and I can work with it. I guess it's fine. It's not too deep, to be honest, but yeah, I guess that's it. All in all, this chapter was good. There isn't anything else brilliant that really happened in this chapter. We get to see All Might one more time. He's just there. He's just there these days, so whatever. I still think this guy should have died a long time ago, but we're still dragging this on. Hopefully his death means something now, but I don't know, man. I think people are getting tired of this. The same thing with Dobby. I mean, I'm tired of Dobby, to be honest. I'm not interested in this character anymore. The same thing with what's this dude's name again? I don't remember his name. I think it's this plot that has been going on since the beginning of the anime, or the entire series in general until now, but they haven't paid it off as yet. I don't really remember. So we have All Might, we have Dobby, and we have what else? Something that's been long running. I don't really remember. Maybe I'll put it out in another video, but yeah, I don't want to drag this on too long. I think we're at 13 minutes. So yeah, all in all, this chapter was pretty good. It was mid. It wasn't really exciting. I was excited to read it and to review it because I haven't really done a review in a very long time. But yeah, overall, this chapter was good. I want to see what this girl is capable of, right? She has a sniper for her arm. More than likely, she's able to change it into something else. She's like a shapeshifter or something. She can change multiple parts of her body into weapons and change it back. But I'm more interested in the guy leaning up on the wall, because he looks like someone very familiar, very familiar. So we'll see what happens there. So yeah, let me know what you guys thought about the chapter in the comment section below. I will be doing more videos on My Academia going forward. I think I'm getting a little more, a little excited to do these reviews. I don't know why. I feel excited today. It's crazy. I don't know. I just feel, revved and ready to go. But yeah, I don't have much content on My Hero Academia. I have to, review the chapters, see what I missed, and come up with a few theories and all I think, and what I think, or where I think the story is going to go from here. But I think we're closing off the My Hero Academia phase, and we're going into a little time skip. Hopefully. I think we're coming up on the time skipping board as well. So these series are kind of moving together in a way, and they're the main series I review on my channel. So that's always good. So yeah, I'm basically, dragging this on too long right now. So yeah, if you guys did like the video, go ahead and drop a like. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe, because what I've realized is that I have a 90% not subscribed viewer rate. 90%, guys. Like, come on, guys, you can do way better than that. Come on, we gotta get over, we can get at least 50%. Come on, 50%, bring it down to 50%. I can't believe we have a 90% not subscribed viewer rate. That's crazy. So let me know what you guys think down in the comment section. Subscribe, remember to hit that notification bell, that's really important. And yeah, stay tuned for more videos. I'll see you guys next time.